Question everything, for the truth should not be televised. And that's for sure. So with that, I understand, the strong talk that Farrakhan have, when it comes to our plight. And, like he was saying, if the controllers that be, the colonizers that control the system of oppression over our people is not going to move on giving us any justice, then what is our move? What are we supposed to do? From the Cornell Wests to all these brothers that talk all real well with their Ivy League and scholarships and scholarly characteristics. What is our movement then if we can't get justice? If we can't get reparations in the form of reparative justice, in the form of money and land, in order to liberate ourselves onto our own land, to be our own nation again, then what is the movement? What is our move if they're not going to help, change this injustice of crimes against humanity that has been done to our bloodline in the form of Holocaust, massacre, and genocide throughout this time frame of us being colonized, to the point of mass incarceration as we speak right now, under these different tactics of destruction that is plaguing the communities that we was forced to live in based off of being in ghetto slums and hoods due to massacres and different type of race riots that came through our communities, destroying anything and everything that we can create or do for ourselves. What is the plan if this government under the colonizers' control ain't going to do nothing for us? What is our movement then? Why are we still tolerating this injustice, being locked away based off of being impoverished, trying to survive under a system that don't show no loyalty for us and don't have no true honor or no true justice for us? What is the purpose? What are we when it comes to dealing with United States in the colonizer system? Because this doesn't make any sense to keep ongoing living under these conditions that we are forced to live under, with lack of resources and lack of opportunity and lack of benefits and lack of rights, when it comes to dealing with a system that was in a pledge of white supremacy to always uphold their ancestors and forefathers' agendas against us as Aboriginal Niggros of America. What is our move, Farrakhan? What is our move? I just don't get it. I think about it. Cornell West, you running for presidency for what? Obama was president, and look what happened. We didn't get reparations. We didn't get what immigrants are getting right now. We didn't get what Ukraine got in the form of $120 billion to help out our situation and our plight of being forced to be in ghetto slums and hoods. We didn't get the $15 billion or more that Israel got based off of the redlining and the destruction of us not being able to get bank loans or housing loans based off of our colors when it comes to our skin complexion. What is this really about when it comes to dealing with this system, if all it's about is staying at the bottom? See, I'm not going to sit around and blame myself for my oppression. I'm not going to blame myself for mishaps that I can't change based off of a system that look down upon me and frown upon me and looking to keep me in a destructive manner. I'm not going to look down at myself, nor would I blame myself for what is wrapped around me as a system of hatred, in a system of oppression, in a system of corruption, in white supremacy against me and my people. I'm going to acknowledge it. And then I want to sit down and ponder how to get out of it. That's the reality to it. How do I separate myself from these lies and trickery that keeps the majority of my people in this destructive reality that is not fit for us as a nation? What is the game plan? I can't keep going and congregating to hear good speeches without no action behind it. What is the action? What is the movement? How do we empower ourselves? How do we uplift ourselves to be able to bring a successful economic growth for our people? To be able to help our babies become engineers and painters and landscapers and house builders and, you name it. How do we get to that point? Their schools are not doing that. And the children trying to get to college is going into buku debt over it, and then come out and still can't get into a system that's set up to hate them. What is the reality to it? Where do we stand? For you to be Farrakhan with millions of people following you, Cornel West with millions of people knowing you and looking up to y'all. What is our movement? I can't ask the actors and entertainers and all these different people, because they're like, it's like asking a gesture, which way should we go? And the gesture there to humor you and bring entertainment to you. Their mind's not set in the form of a revolutionary mind and a political mind and a economical power structure type mind when it comes to building a nation. I gotta ask you guys, who are supposed to be nation movers, who stands in these arenas and speak on these levels of what we supposed to go from here. The Obamas and all y'all, the Condoleezza Rices and so on. What is the real reality of our movement, our plight? Or is y'all the legacy leaders with the delusion of nation helping, as it seems to be, leading us through a delusion of never, ever achieving liberation from no form of fashion? What is our duty here? We got all these millionaires, and no one can come together to open up things, come together and be able to open up organizations that help to open up small Black Negro businesses to be put back in our community, to move product amongst each other, spending amongst each other in order to strengthen our dollar again amongst ourselves. No one can do that. None. How does that work? Drug dealing is a business, and there's a lot of them in our communities. And regardless if we like it or not, it's still a business. And if those brothers can come together with their little dollars to make those type of things happen on a negative level, then what are y'all doing with the wealth as wealthy people, as rich people, when it comes to moving those dollars as a wealthy person? Why are y'all not coming together and opening up small businesses in our community, buying back structures in our community to open up businesses and help others get into housing and land and be able to strengthen our communities again? What is that about? Where do we stand with all this wealth as wealthy Negroes and we don't hold them to no accountability when it comes to helping their own nation to be a strength again, under a nation, within a nation that we are in, under their nation being crushed by their God? How do we get from under that if none of you Ivy League school and wealthy people are going to do anything? Well, these are some of the thoughts I have when I'm looking around and I'm thinking about listening to Farrakhans and the Cornel Wests and all the different people that come that's supposed to represent us. What is your thoughts on those folks? What are your thoughts on these celebrities and wealthy people and how they don't put no skin in the game when it comes to economic growth for our communities that are